to age 13, most of them have their worldview intact. Now, they might kind of clarify it a little bit up until about the age of 20, but pretty much by the time they get to be an adult, by the time they leave the teenage years, their worldview is intact. Now, also, it's important to understand that whether it's conscious or subconscious, every person has some type of worldview. So a personal worldview is a combination of all you believe to be true, and what you believe becomes the driving force behind every emotion, decision, and action. So your worldview affects your response to every area of life. So from philosophy to science, to theology, to anthropology, to economics, to law, to politics, art, social order, everything. It's all affected by the way you view the world. Now, we're going to talk about Generation Z here in a minute, but the generation right before that, the millennial generation, Barna says that 4% of millennials have a biblical worldview. That kind of shocked me to see that that was such a low number. And because of that, that means that their children, the following generation, are going to have an even less biblical view of the world. Let's talk about an objective worldview is based upon an outside standard. In the biblical worldview, God is the one who defines that standard. So we as believers have an objective worldview. That's what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches that God's Word is the sole authority for our faith and practice and for our life. And so therefore, we are to know it, to study it, to bring it into our heart that we might not sin against God. But every decision that we make is to be filtered through that lens, through the objective Word of God. Versus a subjective worldview. Subjective worldviews are based on individual preferences, such as likes and dislikes. By its nature, no subjectively based worldview is better than another. So what's true for you may not be true for me. So an idea of a subjective opinion. I think chocolate ice cream is the best ice cream there is. What do y'all think? I probably should have said something else. I heard someone say no. Butter pecan. So we started out our session today talking about the phrase, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay? Is that an objective standard or a subjective standard? It's subjective, right? Okay? Now, the question is beauty objective or subjective? Is it? If we were all standing on the rim of the Grand Canyon and we looked out there and we said, wow, that is beautiful. And Ed's back there saying, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. What would y'all think? You would think Ed had lost his mind, right? Because there's something within us that tells us that looking at a scene like that is beauty. It's beautiful. You know, we look at the face of a baby, okay, and we see beauty there. There's something within us that says there's beauty there. Now, versus, let's just say, for example, someone had something that they didn't agree with at lunch and they tossed their cookies and you looked at that and said, wow, that's beautiful. We all know it's disgusting, right?